Hey folks, Gary here, doing a daily Bible reading for Monday, and it's a little bit later in the day. We're on vacation, so things get a little bit confusing sometimes. That and the other thing that's different is we don't have Cole the Bible dog with us because he's back home. Not at home, but he's at a friend's place. Instead, we have Clifford, the safety dog. Hey Clifford. Yeah, he's a pretty cool pup. He's not much of a safety dog, but he's a cool pup. But he's wearing a yellow vest, so that helps. Anyways, continuing on with the story of Abram or Abraham, and we find it in Genesis 12, verses today 8 and 9. So we've been reading about Abraham and the adventure that God's called him on. God's called him to leave the land of his fathers to go into the land that he has given to him as an inheritance, will give to his descendants. Again, Abraham doesn't have descendants, but God is promising him he's going to have descendants, and he's going to have this massive land as a place for his descendants to grow. Now, Abraham has no idea how this is going to work out, and that's part of the adventure. So let's take a look at it. So looking at verse 8. Here it says, "From there he moved to the hill country on the east side of Bethel and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the east, and I think it's Ai, with Ai on the east. So, sorry, Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord." A little bit of a wind gust here. "And there he built an altar to the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord." So he's calling on God, saying, "Lord." It doesn't explain what he said or what he's praying, but he calls on the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed on, still going towards the Negeb. So we kind of got to read into this a little bit because we don't know what it was that he actually prayed to God. What we do know is that he did pray to God. He came upon Bethel, and Bethel is significant in the Old Testament, and we read about the New Testament too, but it's significant in the Old Testament as the house of bread. It's like the provision of God. So he's found himself in a really good place, built an altar to the Lord, and now he's calling upon the Lord, and it seems like the outcome of this is that he moves on. He moves on towards the Negeb. Now, that's a little bit confusing because you're already in a really good place. Why would you move on? And the only thing I can assume is that he felt impressed by God to do that. He called upon the Lord. That happens in our lives too. We hit someplace really good. We don't know for sure what to do. We call upon God. Now, sometimes God answers us directly. Sometimes he doesn't. But here's the thing. When you call upon the Lord, respond, act, make a decision. And Abram makes a decision. Now, we'll see if it's a good decision later on or not, but he makes a decision. And that's what God calls upon us to do. That's what God wants us to do. He wants us to decide. He wants us to ask him, trust him, and then in the end, make our decision and go. And that's what Abraham has done here. So let's see how this turns out with the next couple verses.